Well, good afternoon, or I should say evening. But I was sitting and I was praying and meditating on the Word, and my last video I talked about Yeshua and how he's a shepherd. Also spoke of the signs of the end of this age in Luke. And as I was meditating on it more and more, as I made a statement that Israel had to come back. And I know I hear a lot of this controversy that about it's not really Jews and it's not this and it's not that. In Isaiah chapter 10, beginning with the verse 20, and it's talking about a remnant of Israel to be saved. And I truly believe that this is talking about that remnant in 1948 that had to come. The land had to become known as the state of Israel once again. When they become the nation of Israel under David and grew. Now Saul, they grew some, but I mean, David was the force that had all of the kingdoms together. And then the division come. But then when they were taken and that first temple was destroyed and they were taken into Babylon as captive, the walls of the city were gone, Jerusalem was destroyed, and they were in captivity. But they had to come back and rebuild Jerusalem and the temple. Why? Because the Messiah was going to be born in Bethlehem to a virgin. He would have to be taken to a temple that had to be rebuilt to be dedicated to observe all the laws that God had put on him. And being that he was the firstborn son, he had to literally brought into the temple to have that firstborn blessing upon him. So the temple had to exist. And then in 70 AD, the Romans destroyed the temple, scattered the Jews, scattered all of Israel across the world. The name of the land of Israel was wiped out. They called it Persia. No, they called it Palestine. The Romans brought the name Palestine. That's how it got adopted, and Israel got dismissed. So until 1944, there was no Israel. But we see in Isaiah that it says, "It shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, such as are accepted of the house of Judah, shall no more again stay upon him that smite them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth." The raiment shall return, even the raiment of Jacob into the mighty God. For through thy people Israel be as the sands of the sea, and they are. Israel, all 12 tribes, are like the sands of the sea. They cover the earth. Cover it. But, can you hear this? For though the people, Israel, be as the sands of the sea, yet a raiment of them shall return, and the consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. So, Israel had to come back. And there is only a raiment of true Israelites, true Jews that are over there. There is a true raiment that truly has accepted Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, as their Messiah. But they had to come back. For this part in Luke 21, 5 and on down, like here in verse 21, it's talking, in 20, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with the enemies, then know that desolations thereof is nigh. Well, until 1948, that couldn't happen, because Jerusalem was destroyed over here in 21:6, or let's start with 5. And as some spoke of the temple, now that was a temple over there in Jerusalem, the one that Jesus walked around in, it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said. Now they were talking about this, and you can see that in Matthew and Mark, the same thing. It begins with that temple that was there. As for these things which ye behold, it's like he's standing around and he pointed to the temple. These things you behold, the day will come in which there shall not be left one stone upon the other. They shall not be thrown down. In other words, he was prophesying into the future in 70 AD, where the temple would be torn down, burned, destroyed. Jerusalem would be ransacked, destroyed once again. And I know I hear about this, the temple will never be rebuilt. Yes, it will. And really, Israel got in trouble in 1976. 1976, God blessed them to be able to take over all of Israel. Jerusalem. They were able to walk through that gate into Old Jerusalem. They were able to go all the way up on the Temple Mount. Jerusalem was theirs. They had won. It was theirs to do anything they desired to do with it. Some of the military said, let's blow the Golden Dome. We've got the dynamite. It's here. Let's blow it. But then there was some top official says, oh no, let's not do that. They had already won the war. God had rendered the Temple Mount into their hand. They could have destroyed that Golden Dome. And the Arab nation could have not done a thing about it, because they had already been whipped. I tell you, if they'd have went on ahead and took that Temple Mount, blowed that Golden Dome off of it, they would have started already building the temple. In fact, it would have already been rebuilt. And guess what? Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, would already be here. It had to be here at his first coming. It will have to be here during the second coming, because it talks about it. It talks all throughout the Old Testament of that temple that the Messiah would bring back to earth, would be rebuilt. That's what Israel's looking for. They know that prophecy. It's in the Old Testament. You know, you people that says, I don't want to read the Old Testament, it's done in full. And no, it's not done in full. There's a lot still that has to be fulfilled in the Old Testament prophecies that's coming up. And the third temple will be rebuilt. Everything is already made. The clothes are already made for the priest. They're already in training to know how to sacrifice and do the rituals the way they're supposed to do. It's already happening. All they need is the building on the mountain. And I'll safely say, sometime soon, the foundations on top of that mountain, Golden Dome or not, the foundation of the temple will be laid, and we will see the first sacrifices begin soon. As he was revealing to me this, there are certain things that have to come about, but they will come about quickly, faster than anybody really can figure out or imagine. Time is now at hand. The minutes, the seconds are already beginning to tick by. I really truly don't believe we're in the hours any longer. We're in the minutes and seconds ticking by. Israel messed up once. But what is to happen next? They will take advantage of it. Her enemies are surrounding her now, just as it said they would. They're coming up against her, just as Yeshua HaMashiach said it would. Everyone over there is determined to wipe Israel off the face of the map once again. That there will be no state of Israel. And we can see the forces coming together more and more. The old leaders that used to be there are being booted out, where the new leaders that have that courage to come on in against Israel is beginning to form now. And we will see it. We are this last day generation. We will see military boots tromping across the land. Like robots under the government's command. The whole world will be in turmoil and chaos as God shakes this land. For you see, Israel is still the apple of his eye. Israel is still his wife that he's taking back. There's a raiment now, and more to come in time. Even though the biggest part of Israel is blind, scattered, and refuses to hear, there is that small remnant that are gathered as one, as on that day of Pentecost, waiting for his command, waiting for him to stretch out his hand and give that final order. They are here, they are now, and they know who they are. They know who Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, is, the Messiah. They know now who he was, who he is, and the same Messiah that is about to come back to earth soon. That raiment is waiting. The temple will be rebuilt because it will be here on earth for Yeshua's 1,000-year reign. It will be. And sacrifices will begin. What Israel was supposed to do in the beginning, Israel will do during that 1,000-year reign under the hand of Yeshua HaMashiach. With him giving them orders, they will walk the walk and talk the talk. You watch and see. You watch and see. For the temple will be rebuilt. The sacrifices will come back. And people will know the glory of the King, the Messiah, who reigns forever and ever. I speak these words tonight with his blessings. With his blessings. For it is time to wake up. Come out of your disbeliefs. Come out of your hate and your anger and your bitterness and your accusals and your looking down on other people, and come out of your man-made religious organizations and come in to the sonship of Yeshua HaMashiach and become one in the body as we are meant to be. Things are going to happen soon. This is what he's told me. People, wake up. Things are about to happen. They've already begun, but you have not seen how bad can get in a very short time. Because the King is coming. The temple will be rebuilt. Yeshua will reign upon this earth. Every nation, every country, every man, every woman, every child will bend their knees and come to Yeshua, for he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And they will do what he commands, or they will suffer the consequences. Because in Zechariah says, the things that had polluted this earth just before his coming because of a war, because the Middle East is going to be a dead zone when they drop all the atomic bombs and stuff, and Yeshua has to come back to earth. Those diseases will hit that country for a whole year because of disobedience to Yeshua HaMashiach and what he says to do. And that's going over to Israel once a year for the tabernacle of booths. So what can I say to you people that says that the feast days are no longer? What will you do if you happen to make it through to the end and you do see Yeshua HaMashiach come back and you happen to have to live here for 1,000 years more, and you may think, oh wow, that'd be cool. Yeah, but it will not be according to what you may want it to be. Think about it. More than likely, if you're not saved, you probably won't be here. But yet, I'm not going to say you're not, because the ones that don't have the mark of the beast on them, that haven't given in and they fought, but yet they really haven't stood for Yeshua, they may get to live during the 1,000-year reign. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have the plan. God does. But I'm telling you, it is important that you wake up and realize tonight the days are coming to a close. Things are going to be happening more than more. And Yeshua's coming back. But I tell you, the temple is going to be rebuilt soon. It has to be. There had to be a second temple for his coming. There has to be a third temple for his coming. And it's going to be rebuilt. Believe me. And sacrifices are going to come back. Because that 1,000-year reign is a whole different earth age. Believe me. Well, blessings, I felt led to give this to you right now tonight, for whatever reason. But I'm putting it up, and whoever it's meant for, I pray that they listen. I pray they render your hearts to him. In the name of Yeshua, be blessed. Be blessed.